The first day of the Manchester Major stage matches just ended a few hours ago, and it was a pretty wild day with some upsets that nobody probably saw happening, including myself. So we will start with the matches, and we'll just go in order from the first game to the last game, and just talk about them. So the first game versus Secret was BDS versus Secret, and BDS did end up winning this game. Um, as I predicted the other day, I did think BDS would win this game because BDS just runs Europe. They play the best, I think, against other European teams, and that showed here. Even though Secret had a good uh, Swiss stage, they were definitely really hot in Swiss. But I definitely feel like the break that they had really affected them, and they came into this match a little cold, especially for players like Joom, where he had been popping off before this match, and in this match he probably had the worst game of the tournament for him, as well as Adrian as well. He had a rough match as well. Definitely one of his worst games of the tournament too, and it's one of the big reasons why BDS were able to take this, as well as because of big performances around players like Licky Fack as well, who went nuclear on Secret and even won a 1v3 to close out the series. So definitely a statement from BDS on we run Europe and we're not going anywhere anytime soon. So I was able to get that prediction right, which was nice. So for the second match of the day, Fury versus Liquid, I was so prepared for Liquid's funeral before this match. I was talking with my friend, and we were both like, and he's a Liquid fan, and we're both like, there's no way Liquid win this game. But somehow Liquid came out and absolutely were dominant strategically in this series. Even though Furia were able to win on Nighthaven, it just felt like Liquid definitely had them by the strategy, and this is some of the worst siege I've seen from this Furia slash XW7M squad I've seen since they started winning it all in Copenhagen. Because I mean, like look at this, like Herds, come on, this is this is one of his worst performances ever, and this is just you can't be having this from Herds with the role he plays, and same with JV as well. That also had a really bad game, and Nade too had a bad game as well. But it's a little excusable because he's in the support roles. But this is really bad. While like players like Lagonis who have had some god awful embarrassing games this tournament actually played well, like really well today, planting the diffuser, not having a crazy negative KD and basically being a non-factor for Liquid. And even with Nesk having a subpar game here, players like Resets and Maya went huge today. Um, so did Palu, but Palu is probably the most consistent player on the team. So I feel like he's always going to be up in the higher ratings. But like Resets is always the biggest question mark for me on Liquid because he can be really inconsistent. But when he's popping off, it is huge for Liquid because the resets popping off this series was probably the deciding factor for this series because WKZ and Felipox were both playing so well that they were keeping they almost kept Furia in the series, but the Herds and JV specifically were just so bad, especially on that third map that they just got rinsed on Chalet, which I was really surprised too because Liquid played Chalet just the other day and ran like the same strats that they did the other day against Furia, and Furia just looked kind of lost, especially on the attacks. Like Furia's attacks on all three maps were terrible. They had a Furia had a 5-2 lead on Cafe and Nighthaven this game, and they threw them both away. And the Liquid ended up throwing away a 6-5 lead and a 7-6 lead on Nighthaven later, but that's not as big of a throw as Furia throwing away 2-5-2 leads, which was really bad. And I was really surprised Liquid actually were that good on Chalet, because one, they just shown it the other day and ran the same things, and two, because historically Furia's or Chalet is just one of Furia's preferred and best maps that they enjoy playing. So, but congrats to Liquid. This is a huge win for them. Now they can't go around acting like they won the tournament after this win. Liquid need to stay humble, as they are not done. The job is not finished yet. So I'm a little worried that this win will get to their heads a little, and they'll be and it'll boost their ego a little too much. But I hope not. Hopefully this is just a step in the right direction for Liquid, because this tournament has been nothing short of a miracle run for Liquid so far, and it's been a great story so far to watch, because they started off in phase one after qualifying through LCQ. They finish a barn burner game versus G2, a 7-7 overtime to barely squeeze that one out, then handle GK to make phase two. Then they fall to 0-2 immediately in Swiss, and they have to win 3 best of 3s to make it to the stage, and they did that. And now they just beaten probably one of the tournament favorites to advance to the semifinals. So they have been on nothing short of an insane run. And Liquid are also on a 9 best of 3 win streak, so they have won 9 best of 3s in a row. So maybe the Liquid just really need that best of 3 buff, because in best of 1s they just suck. So for the next game, this was probably the biggest surprise of the day. FaZe versus Beast Coast. I could not believe this game. I was dumbfounded by how one-sided this game was. I thought, looking at this matchup, that Beast Coast would give FaZe a fight, but I was like, surely Beast Coast are not prepared for what FaZe have to offer, right? With a few months that they've had together, but Beast Coast, and specifically Gunner, came out swinging today. And all props to Beast Coast, and especially Gunner, for winning this game, because Gunner went nuclear. He went plus 20 and dropped 28 kills in 19 rounds, which is probably one of the single greatest performances I have ever seen in Siege in quite some time. So to all those teams who did not pick up Gunner after he was dropped from Sonics, look at him now, because this is what's happening. He's been having a good tournament altogether so far. He averaged almost 1.5 kills per round this series, which is crazy. And he made FaZe look horrible. Like, they look really bad this game, and everybody knows FaZe are not this bad of a team, but this is just one of those games where it's like a legacy game, and FaZe could do nothing about it. So yeah, this was crazy to watch. And I mean, the series was also defined by moments like these, where you have little plays like this.
It's looking like FaZe will take their first,
which are winning Beast Coast rounds. Which is just crazy. Like, it's just weird seeing FaZe make these mistakes.
He's just waiting. He's biding his time. He sees the player.
Like, they have a buck too, but he just has no. They make no vert for some reason. Like, this game was defined by plays like that, the whole series for Beast Coast, and it's one of the main reasons they won this game. So, not the only reason, but definitely one of the big reasons. Is Gunner also had another 1vx. It doesn't show here, but he won another 1v3 later on Cafe as well. So yeah, he went crazy. So the rest of the team. Oh, and Diffuser played well today, which was also huge. He didn't play like crazy or anything, but he had a good performance compared to the rest of the tournament so far, because he was one of my big questions heading into the day. He was not playing very good. heading into this matchup, and he really needed to show up for this team to for them to have a chance, and he did that today. And the other question that I have for this team is still spirits. Is that he's still like I'm still a little like concerned if he's still like he always seems to not play well in the big moments. And he has had a pretty good tournament so far, which is good to see. But anytime he's been on stage, he's never played particularly well for the most part. So hopefully Spirits can step it up. And oh, one more thing, like another thing about Gunner is I do think a lot of people think he's not good. Probably not after this game, but I feel Gunner's just one of those players that and I mean this goes for any pretty much any player in any kind of sport, esports, uh, normal sports. Um, but like they just need the right fit, and for them to succeed. And Gunner has definitely found the right fit for his play style with this Beast Coast team, and it's clearly showing. So compared to with Sonics, where yes, Gunner was a good player on Sonics, where he played a ton of different roles on Sonics when they played. I think he even IGL'd at one point, which is very interesting. So, but it just was never the right fit for them. So when they let go of him, Beast Coast, of course, it's always a gamble picking up a player like Gunner because he is a big risk taker kind of player. He does like taking those big risks, but those big risks often they either result in his team winning the round or it'll result in a blunder. But in this Beast Coast team so far, it is much often um, resulted in Beast Coast winning compared to losing because it definitely feels like he is playing smarter though, not making all those crazy gunner plays that he likes to do all the time. But uh but yeah, it's nice to see that he's found a good home here on Beast Coast because he is a really good player that uh had a bad light kind of shined on him for some uh, interesting decision making when he was with Sonics. So, but yeah, it's nice to see him succeed on Beast Coast so far this year. So, and the last game of the day was you could call it the NA matchup, of course, even though M80 don't have a single NA player or coach, but they are both North American League teams, so we'll give it to them. So this is the second game I predicted correctly where Dark Zero would win. Where how I kind of said that I just felt like Dark Zero would win this because they're always good against NA teams on LAN, especially in best of threes, and they proved it today. I mean like just comparing the stats, it's like everybody on DZ popped off, and M80 just had a rough day at it, especially like when Kino's your top rated player. It's not a good sign. And and this is what DZ need though to continue winning though. It's like if you're gonna have like this isn't even a bad game out of Canadian really. This is a fine game out of him, but this is what you need. You need like these four need to be popping off, and then Canadian can't be playing like terribly. So and that's what we got, which is good to see. And it's nice to see Pamba carrying on from his performance from their game to qualify to the main stage as well, because he's definitely a player on DZ who I've had like the most consistency concerns about recently, because he was Pamba was like one of the main reasons that DZ won Charlotte, because Pamba was so good in Charlotte, and for Dark Zero to be good, Pamba needs to show up because he does play that entry role, and it's one of the main reasons why I think Dark Zero have been getting close but not quite there in recent history, is because Pamba has had some rough games, which has caused them to lose in recent history. So, but they all showed up today, And Dark Zero prove why they are uh, have been the most consistent and dominant NA team in probably years. So, well, not probably. They've been the most consistent NA team in years. They've been to like every tournament basically. So, so yeah, those were the matches today, and like I said, big upsets. Both tournament favorites being eliminated, Furia and FaZe. So, unfortunate for the people who had both Furia and FaZe on their predictions, official predictions, trying to get that 1 point for the battle pass for those people who are off by 1 point because they're both gone now. So I mean, and I can't blame anybody for taking these two teams. I mean, they it's logical to take the two teams who made at minimum top four at every event last year. So so yeah, but today they both fall, and we will have a new champion, which is exciting for the first time in over a year. A new major champion, which is good to see. So we do have some teams who have won majors before, but both in 2022 with Dark Zero winning Charlotte and then BDS winning Jönköping. And of course, Liquid won Pro League Finals all the way back in 2018 in Atlantic City. But that was forever ago, and Liquid are a very different team now. And of course, we have Beast Coast, who are players everyone's familiar with, just kind of mashed together, plus Diffuser. But they're really exciting to watch this tournament. Their uh, their come up to success. So it's nice to see that we'll have a new champion after over a year of Furia dominance. I don't think Furia. I think Furia and FaZe will both be back at the next event, whether that's the whatever happens with the World Cup, if that ends up happening or not, or the Montreal Major in November. So these teams will probably be back for vengeance in the upcoming tournaments, and hopefully we continue to see success from the teams here, and also be nice to see some teams return to form as well, like teams such as Virtus Pro are always one of my favorite contenders to watch, and they had a terrible EUL stage this first season, so they were really missing from this tournament. But usually those guys are always very good on LAN, which is it was weird not to see them here. So yeah, maybe teams like that will be back next tournament too, and it will result in other teams from EU not going, because I feel like EU has definitely been one of the weakest regions this tournament, and it's because of teams like G2 and VP really struggling that teams like ITB took their place that I don't think are that good. So on the come up, but definitely not that great still. So for tomorrow, now we have the first match. I think is this Liquid Beast Coast game. This will be a really both these games are just so unpredictable now because all predictions are out the window. I'm gonna try and predict these anyways, but it's gonna be weird because I after like because Liquid beat Furia, who are one of the favorites, and then Beast Coast like demolished FaZe, who are the other favorites. So it's like who is the better up team right now between Liquid beating the 2-time major champions and the current world champions, and Beast Coast who beat FaZe, who are always uh, consistently like runners up or top four at all these big tournaments, but never quite getting um, across the finish line. So so this is an interesting matchup here, and I want both teams to win this. Really, it'd be but whoever wins this really just deserves the final. But I mean, the storylines are crazy here because we got Nesk. Nesk has now another shot at another major grand final, Nesk and Palu, really. And so does Lagonis as well. Lagotinus, the only player on Liquid who has actually won a major of all players. So and then for Beast Coast, who is again like the scraps of like previous NAL teams all mashed together to who came together to prove that they did they maybe should not have been dropped, and so far they have been proving to everyone that hey, maybe you shouldn't have dropped us because we're all quite good at the game. So so I don't know who's gonna win this. It's so awkward to predict this game, but I think I'm gonna take Liquid to win this game. I want to see Nesk have another shot at the grand final, but I would I would be happy with whoever wins this game. To be honest, it'd make it's just a great story. Um, so yeah, I'd be happy with whoever wins this, but it'd be cool. It would always be interesting to see Nesk have another shot at grand final. I was scared for Liquid today because they are known to crumble under the pressure, and I was surprised they didn't because I thought this Nighthaven game would be the turning point after Furia barely won it. I thought plot armor was activated for Furia there, but Liquid really turned it around on Chalet. So that was huge for Liquid, and with phase gone too, that is it's a big opportunity for Liquid. Liquid's probably two hardest opponents in my mind are out. So this is this is a great opportunity for Liquid again. They have a great opportunity here. So yeah. Now for the other side of the bracket, we have DZ and BDS. Now these are the two teams that I did predict correctly to win. Whereas I also predicted Fury and FaZe to win, and they both didn't. So, but I did predict Dark Zero and BDS to win, and they both did. So they both move on. They both move on to play each other in the second semifinal of the day, and this is another. This is a classic NAEU matchup of two of the most storied teams and best teams from each region facing off against each other. So and also in this match, this also guarantees a UK player will be in the grand final because Dark Zero have Nafe and then Usus have or BDS have Usus. So yeah, but this is another game or similar to this game. It's like it's just a toss up. I mean, though I do feel like Dark Zero definitely have an edge over BDS right now. I do feel like Dark Zero have been playing better than BDS. BDS were better on bank, that's for sure. But watching this first map of Chalet, I was really surprised BDS won this map because BDS they had some god awful attacks. I was surprised they even won two because they the the way they try to do their attacks was just really weird. They try to they don't just full clear Chalet like most teams do because especially when Chalet is one of the easier maps in the map pool that you can just pretty easily full clear. And BDS tried to do this weird gap hitting playstyle today on Chalet, and it just was like never worked that great. And if they do it again against DZ, I feel like DZ could definitely capitalize against it better than Secret can, because I feel like Dark Zero are just a more well oiled team than Secret are currently. Um, so they have and Dark Zero probably I think have a better map pool than Secret as well. So I'm definitely a little concerned about BDS's attacks, though I can also put up the same concerns for DZ's attacks that BDS can take advantage of the slow nature of DZ's attacks. So this is definitely another toss up, and this game is definitely going to come down to probably who is the better attacking team, which it usually is in this meta anyways. Whoever does well in attack usually ends up winning the map and the series. So, but for this game, I am gonna take Dark Zero because I do think they have looked better than BDS still so far this tournament. BDS have continued to look better as the tournament goes on though. So this is again like I could BDS could easily win this game as well. So but I'm also going to stick with Dark Zero because I also did have Dark Zero making the final. So so yeah, we're going to I'm gonna take Liquid and then Dark Zero to advance to the grand final. But again, both these matches could go either way, and I don't know. This tournament has been just so fun to watch because of all the unpredictability of it, which is just really fun to watch. So the one thing that's not fun to watch is all the Monty play. That's a little boring, but at least M80 are out, so I don't have to suffer watching Kino play Monty anymore because that is just horrible. I don't know why they keep putting Kino on Monty. I feel like there's just put Kino on like Thermite or something or Ace. Like he just does better at that. He always looks uncomfortable on the shield operators, and I don't like it when a player is uncomfortable. They never play well when they're uncomfortable. So anyways, though that is what I have to say about the quarterfinals and the upcoming semis of the Manchester Major, and I am hoping the matches tomorrow are bangers because it would kind of suck if they go kind of quickly and the day would be over. But whatever happens happens, and I think all the fans are in for a treat tomorrow with these matchups because I don't think anybody saw these matchups coming after looking at the initial bracket when it was released on on a Wednesday. So yeah, again, if you stayed to watch this whole ramble, then feel free to follow the socials as I usually post more updates over there, usually in the moment as things happen with the major, and as well if you did stay the whole thing that for the whole thing, feel free to like, and also if you have any like if there's things you like about these videos or there's things you don't like about these videos or you have any like criticism or ideas, feel free to let me know in comments, or you can DM me on one of my socials as well, because I am always looking how to improve because I just started doing this and I want to continue growing on this because it's something that I've always wanted to do for some time. So yeah, thank you for sticking around, and I will be back again tomorrow after the semifinals.